Hello friends, this is Scott, and I just got done with the end of the year videos for the interior and the exterior of the now Homestead home. And I thought it'd be a good idea just to start the new year, 2025, with kind of showing you what the current status of the homestead is, and talk about the projects that I've mentioned before, some new projects, as well as some other changes in life that I'd like to talk about. But anyway, this is the old willow that was in this yard. It was cut down before we purchased the homestead, and I still haven't done anything with it. Should I burn it? Should I cut it down? Should I just make it lower and make a bird bath kind of out of it? Let me know what you think on that. This area here is one that I just keep weeding, full of bindweed, and keep putting bark mulch there, but I got to figure out what to do there. Should I put a pond there? Should I put herb garden there? Let me know what you think. As we scroll around and looking at the yard, you can't tell, but the grass is in much better condition. But you'll see that in the spring. But here's the nectarine I planted. And yeah, it looks like it's still alive, still flexible, so that's good. So my my rural orchard, I keep saying urban, is doing well, and we'll see. Hopefully those trees will live. I'll make it through the winter. The other trees have made it through at least one winter, so some of them two. But the orchard's looking good, and I do have some new fencing ideas that I'm going to try to do to eliminate some weeding. But we'll get to that as we get to that. Still need to put in flowers and edging along the sides of the house. That's a goal I'm going to do, and I'll get to it when I get to it. And as we walk by the one pear tree, I want to put a bed in here, and so that'll be something I do accomplish this year. I'm going to put another bed, probably flowers, or we'll see what I put in it, but in front of that fence. That's going to be a nice long bed, so that'll be something I do when I start moving dirt again. So you'll see that'll be a change. But this year is going to be a little different. Usually in the winter, in the last two winters, I've been inside doing a lot of remodeling, but I'm not going to do that this year, other than maybe a pantry. Now, I do need to figure out my deck still and get some stairs off the deck so I can get down easier than sliding down. And Mr. Lincoln does like to jump down on that slick bench there. Looking at the raspberries, they're doing great. And I want to definitely put some edging in here this year. We'll see what kind of edging I decide to put. But the berries are doing good. I need to get out here and prune them down a little bit. But thought the deer might be in here grazing them down, but they haven't showed up yet. But yeah, I think those raspberries, this will be the year that we finally get some raspberries in 2025. I had a few last year, but just not even a handful. So this should be the year that we get some, but we'll see. And I need to put a pond or a shade tree here. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I still have tons of firewood. I did burn some this year. But right where that firewood is on the right there, I have burned quite a bit of that, but I want to get rid of that wood. I want to get it moved or burnt because I want to put a greenhouse in there probably, but I don't know if that'll be a this year's project, but that's a goal. The pasture, I want to keep it mostly the same as it is now. I don't think I want to do too many alterations to the pasture, but there is something I'm going to probably do and accomplish this year I'll talk about here in a minute. I'll shrink the pasture a little bit. And the reason is because this pathway, or the driveway, is getting a little bit narrow with all the stuff that I want to do in here. But yeah, other than getting chickens, new chickens this year and dealing with those, this is my first project I need to tackle, and which is right here. I've been procrastinating on getting this wall done. And what I envision is I'm going to do probably a 2.5-foot wall up right along that, you see that concrete there. And then I'm going to do a setback planting bed, which will probably be maybe for herbs, those type of things. It's kind of a north facing, so I don't know how great it's going to be, but I think it'll get enough sun. And then I'll do another wall up, another 2.5 feet up. I still need to get that channel drain in because drainage is a big issue, as with the big flood we had this year and a couple other water events. So I need to get that this area dug out further because, again, gravity is not on my side here. I've got to really dig down deep. Or I have to kind of make an executive decision of whether I really need to have that much drainage. And that's where the patio is going to be. And so, yeah, I'll be moving all that dirt, hopefully. I don't know if I'll get it all done this year, but we'll see how that goes. Now, I'm really excited to get going on my hot composting. It's a lot of work, but I'm going to show you this year how to do it, step by step with several videos. So you'll know how to do hot composting with the right ratios that I use. And yeah, you saw how I was all set up to get started, but the cows did cooperate with me, and they knocked over my leaves. So that's a problem I've got, is that fence is old and it's not secure. And again, this area is getting kind of narrow. I do need to put in a new chicken structure here just to raise the new next generation of chickens. So I'm going to have to build a temporary little pen, or just maybe a permanent pen, just to raise the birds till they're big enough to put them in the main pen with the full-size chickens, because there's a lot of pecking order stuff going on. You don't like to introduce younger birds with older birds, because that's just a recipe for not good things for the new birds. But the coop and the pen have done great for my 3 existing chickens that are still alive and doing well, and they just hang out in the house most of the time. Right here, I'm going to put asparagus here, so I'll probably buy about 20 crowns, 25 crowns of asparagus. I want to clean up this whole area. But here's where I'm going to make some changes right here. As you see, this fence is looking pretty worse for wear. And again, I want to really produce compost. That's a big goal this year, is just to produce compost in several different ways. And so right where that old post is, I want to move the fence out. And I want to put it all the way across to the big gate. And then I want to shove all the all the composting structures over there. And so I'm gonna have a static bin. I'm gonna have my hot compost. I'm gonna have my worm bin, all that kind of good stuff. So that's something I am gonna do. Just don't know exactly when I'm gonna tackle that. But again, asparagus will be planted here, and it's gonna take a few years for that to be a harvestable crop. But I'm excited for that. I'm happy that I got those retaining walls built last year, and I'm happy that I got all these planting beds extended, because again, this year is going to be about food. I'm going to may do another video showing kind of from the first year to the second year of the hobby farm garden. This coming 2025 will be the 3rd year of the garden, and we did grow a lot of food, and I may do a video still showing how much we grew from first year beds pretty much. So they were pretty productive even with all the insect pressure. So yeah, I was able to grow a lot of food, and I want to keep on keeping on with that. One challenge I did have was letting the chickens out. They did get into some of the garden areas where I'd had the tomatoes and the peppers, and they were eating a lot of that. So I've got to figure that out. But I'm going to put stairs right there, and I want to have a fence along the top here, so it's for a safety issue. So yeah, I want to make sure that area is secure, so nobody falls off to their death into the pathway. So yeah, that'll probably happen this year, I would think. We'll see. But again, I was able to get quite a few beds made, and I got the strawberries in. Now, as you see here, this is south facing, and so we're getting a lot of freeze thaw here. That's where the strawberries are, so we'll see how that's going to affect them, if it's going to kill them or help them. We'll see. But this fenced-in area, I think, here is going to be more where I put things that I want to keep the chickens out of. But blackberries are there, and I'll be expanding that too. But yeah, there's lots of room here for growing food, and so I'm excited. But again, behind this gate, I think I'll put the crops that I'm afraid of the chickens getting into too bad, because I want them to be out and about. I don't want to have them all penned up all during the growing season, because that's just no fun for them. And I want them out getting bugs, because again, when the grasshoppers come, I want the chickens out, because yeah, maybe they'll make a dent in them before they take over the whole yard like they did last year. But yeah, I'm going to have all those 3 beds I made right there. Is good. I still have a little shade. I've got to cut some of those limbs down to make get some more sun in here. I got to improve the soil, so I want to really up my compost game. And as we come into the front yard, as I walk around here, I do want to do some gardening here, but it's probably going to have to be a fenced-in area because the deer will be into it. So yeah. But we have honeyberries and raspberries and goji berries along here, and I did some stool layering here with these, and I'm going to show you how I've replicated those plants so I can separate them out and plant a bunch more honeyberries. I just don't know. You need a couple different varieties of pollinators with honeyberries, and I got my first fruit last year, but it wasn't much, so I don't know if I have the right ratio of pollinators or not, so got to think about that. But, I'm thinking more planting beds, and I'm still thinking about what to do on this side of the yard. I've got trailers. I may want to extend some concrete. Yeah, but we'll see. But as I stroll back to where I started this tour, there's lots to do, and I'm excited about the process, but again, this year, 2025, I've finally given up the school garden. I'm going to be spending more time down here at the homestead, so I don't have time to be up in Salt Lake doing that, other than real estate. But anyway, here's a funny view of Mr. Theo, and Coquette's with him. And this is how anytime you fill up a bucket with water, I was watering the cows, and yeah, he kind of took over, and he doesn't share. So Coquette's waiting patiently for her turn, but I think Theo's not gonna cooperate with her in this case, and he's just kind of taking ownership of this bucket. So in the summer, I fill up, the other buckets, and he always drinks out of them. So yeah, he's not going to share. So anyway, well, that's 2025. I've got some goals to do. I want to take it easy. I don't want to do the inside work this year other than a pantry. Yeah, I'm not doing the school garden. I'm just going to be down here, doing what I was saying I'm going to do, and do a lot of manual labor, and hopefully grow lots of good food. Thanks for watching this video. And if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you.